Hi there, I'm Andre from Peak Motorcycles. I'm here at EICMA 2025 and I'm at the BSA stand. Now BSA have been around now for a few years under the new ownership, and the first bike they had was the Goldstar, which was based around the Rotax 650 single. There's a Scrambler concept I think that followed after that, and then the actual Scrambler, but actually now they have a couple of new bikes here at EICMA that I haven't seen before, one of which is this one over my shoulder, so I'll show you what they have on the stand here. We are going to start and finish with new bikes. So the first one I want to show you is this BSA Bantam 350. Now, this is brand new. It's, I guess, in a similar sort of style to the Goldstar. It's a 330cc single, makes about 30 horsepower, which isn't a huge amount. You know, it's not massive, and it looks like a good-sized bike. I mean, I think there's certainly space for two on that. If I come up and over the tank, give you a view of how it looks. And while 30 horsepower, yeah, it's not a huge amount. If you compare it to something like the Royal Enfield 350 Meteor, I think that makes about 19. So by comparison, 30 horsepower should absolutely fly along. I mean, it is water cooled, which helps with the power delivery and managing the heat. But I actually think that's quite a nice looking bike. And while 30 horsepower is not a lot, I think the markets where this is intended, and for people who just want something a bit like this, yeah, I think that's actually rather good. Now, this is a bike that's been around for a while. This is the Goldstar 650. This is the one that is available in all black. When I say all black, I mean the forks are black, mudguard's black, all the dials, the headlamp, even the exhaust looks like it's ceramic coated in black. Nevertheless, I think it still looks rather good. I actually have one of these, not a black one. I've got a red one with a white stripe. But I think they've done a good enough job of keeping, like, these more traditional looking clocks. There's a few things which I wasn't a huge fan of, like that USB pod. I really enjoy riding mine. I think the single gives it just the right character for putt-putting around the Peak District. You know, it's not a bike I'd do a long journey on, even though I'm sure it would be more than capable. Glad to see that they're still here and they're still doing well. So very closely related to the 650 Goldstar is the 650 Scrambler. It's based around that same Rotax single. I think that was also in the BMW G650 GS some time ago. So, you know, it's a tried and tested engine. This particular one, as you can see, it's got that high front mudguard, but if I dug down underneath it, you'll see it's got a low front mudguard to keep some of the bits from flying up into the radiator. It does have a radiator, you know, it does have the vanes on the block which make it look like it's air cooled, but these bikes are very much modern engines with liquid cooling. It's got that side panel with a 65 Scrambler on it, and I think that is an aftermarket, albeit a BSA exhaust that's on there. So yeah, I think that looks great. If I come up and over the tank, you'll see that it's got different clocks to the Goldstar. The Goldstar had those two conventional ones. This one actually has an offset LED display. The handlebar is different as well. It's like a braced handlebar to kind of go with those Scrambler looks. What we have here is a couple more colorways. So we have the Bantam 350 and also the Scrambler in the white and the cream with the grey. And yeah, I think these bikes look really nice. I mean, I think we were one of the first countries to get them in the UK, and I know they're not the same as the old BSAs, but then, you know, the old BSAs, I know a few people that have had them and they do spend a lot of time maintaining them, and they didn't die out because they were making the best bikes in the world at the best possible prices with the best possible features. It is great to see the brand have a new lease of life, even if some people don't make that connection between the old and the new. Right then, last and absolutely by no means least, what I have here is something completely new. This is the new BSA Thunderbolt. So this is a 330cc single. I suspect it's the same power plant that's come from the Bantam 350. And I actually think that looks pretty cool. I mean, it's 30 horsepower, so that's making about, I think, 3 or 4 more than my CRF 300 Rally. It is nearly 40 cc's bigger, so that's not unexpected. It's 26.5 Newton meters of torque and 29.16 horsepower. But the way that's been styled doesn't really look like anything else that's out there. I mean, and I mean that in a good way. It's quite narrow down towards the bottom. It has that radiator cover that's underneath there. It does have a high mudguard and a low mudguard in there. It has that BSA blanking plate over the right-hand side there, but the left one is a very, very bright LED headlamp. That almost looks like a billeted triple clamp in there. I'm not sure if that's going to be the same on the production bikes, but it'd be nice if it was. If I come around this other side, sort of finish the walk around, you can see that it does come with a side stand, but not a centre stand. And if you want to have a close-up look at that motor that's in there, with that sort of bronze finish on the covers, that actually looks rather good. One thing I look for on these is how easy they are to clean. Particularly with my CRF 300 Rally, you get a lot of places inside the bike where stuff gets stuck. On here, that all seems to be fairly open. I mean, I think a few things might accumulate down there in that bash guard, but that might be it. It's coming around the back. This one's got some Rotax panniers on it, but it has that very distinctive two red light rear light. This one actually has a rack fitted. So from here, that looks like adjustable suspension on that top yoke, very clear dash. That bright yellow windscreen is certainly very, very distinctive. So yeah, I think they've done a cracking job. So that's it. That is my quick walk around the BSA stand here at EICMA 2025. I really like that Thunderbolt. I think that'll do really well as a kind of a small but serious trail bike. Yeah, I know it's not the lightest, but it's got a decent amount of power. It's got the right sorts of wheels, and I think it looks pretty good. I think that will win a lot of hearts, and I can't wait to see the response to this bike at Motorcycle Live in a couple of weeks' time. Right then, I think that's it from here for me. So if that's been interesting and useful, please check out some of my other content from EICMA, and maybe I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.